And I'm the optimistic of the three of us, but either way, it was pretty terrible. I like it was pretty terrible. So hey guys, welcome to House 317. I'm your host Rodney, joined by permanent roommates Josh.
What's going on?
Brandon
it's
again! We love it. We love it. Alright, so it's been a minute since we've had Brandon, and now we've had him for a few in a row, which we're totally pumped about. Because as much as Josh and I know about stuff, it's just nice to have a third brain, and his brain is slightly larger. So, we're here to talk...
But still, cheap shot.
So we're here to talk about Venom 2. Disregard the face. Yes, it's sour. Overall grades, guys. We just saw this movie last week?
Last week.
It took us a while to go see this movie. It took us a while to get energized to go see this movie, and for good dang reason. So let's just start off with grades. Josh, what is your overall grade for this movie? Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the first one before. We've talked about the connection with Spider-Man and how we weren't a fan of the way they brought Venom into movie format. Obviously, they're following a different version, like the Lethal Protectors, which they kind of reference in this movie.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. I liked the first one. I just had major gripes about it. Going into this movie thinking that those would be addressed or those would be changed. One thing I actually enjoyed, the rest of the movie let me down for whatever hope I had for this movie. If we're going just by grades, I'm honestly, it's like a C- D+. Yeah, Brandon? I'm just going to leave it at that because...
What'd your mama tell you? B, grades, let's do this.
Giving it a C is being nice.
I gave it a C+. So, and I'm the optimistic of the three of us, but either way, it was pretty terrible. I like it was pretty terrible. So let's just dive in and just kind of go over the movie a little bit. And really, it's gonna be a quick video because none of us really. It was a very short movie. It was a very short movie. It felt very disconnected, like they didn't know what the heck was going on. It felt like they filmed the end first and went backwards and then shuffled things around. I wasn't confused. I was disappointed the entire time. So overall feelings while we were watching the movie first, because Josh, you and I went and watched this together. You saw it separately. At one point, you were so fed up with it. Tell me a little bit about what was going on.
It was just, I don't know if it was the pacing of it, the choppiness of it, but like halfway through, in my mind, I'm like, this could be one of the... I've had this thought before on other movies where like I almost got up and walked out. If it was just me and Rodney, and not me and Rodney and my wife, like I might have walked out. Or if it was me and my wife, I may have walked out because I was so like... The dialogue was bad. It just... If I'm comparing this to... People talk about Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield not being a great movie. I get it. That's fine. I personally like that movie a lot. We talk about Spider-Man 3. That movie was terrible.
It's hard to believe what's happening. The brutality of it.
This movie is worse than those.
This is bad memories, but yeah.
This is at the bottom of a Spider-Verse type list. Is at the bottom for me. The first one was better, but not by much. The one good quality of this movie was Carnage.
Right.
I give props to Woody Harrelson. I thought he did a good job with what he was given. But the design of Carnage was straight out of the comics for me.
Yep.
That was the one thing that I loved. I thought they did well, minus the like...
Let there be carnage.
Like, oh, he said it. He said his name. Like that. Yeah. That's what it felt like. He was like, let's get this out of the way. Let's get him to say it. That's it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of fan service though.
Yeah, Carnage was the... I mean, we know what we're getting with Venom and Eddie Brock and that connection, that relationship. Yes, it was funny, but
And that was
I'm about to say, okay, I love Tom Hardy, but I almost don't like him in this role.
I don't either.
Like
I
love
get
him as an
that.
actor, and when he was cast, I'm like, oh, that's a home run. But I don't know if it's just the way he's written. But I don't know if I like Tom Hardy in this role.
There's a lot of
I just
fingers.
don't.
There's a lot of fingers to be pointed at multiple people with this movie. Brandon, tell us a little bit about you and just what your feelings were on the movie, and just any bright spots.
Look, there are a few moments in there that were comical. I'll give them that. To me, I agree. I think he made the right perception where they created the ending. We all knew it was going to be Venom versus Carnage. That was going to be the end play no matter what. The question is how you got there. And I think that's where they really screwed it up.
I keep going back to the scene that you almost died over, which is Venom jumping out of one body into another body, and then back into Eddie Brock as he fell on the floor. Like, why?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know why Venom is scared crapless out of a red one.
Oh no, it's just like
It's
exactly.
a red one.
It was
It's a
just
red
like
one.
that moment was. Oh crap! It's a red one.
Like
it's just like it's you.
Like
you
you
idiot.
almost wonder like if this movie was meant to be longer and they just cut it because
Oh, it was
maybe
definitely meant to be longer. There's no way that
And
as
that-
choppy
and
as it
that-
was.
worries me because I'm like, well,
What did we not get?
what did we not get?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And here's the other thing. It might have been because of the whole PG-13ness. Because
Yeah.
like where there's some parts where it's like, well, we can't push that, and that makes it rated R. Now, granted, in my personal opinion, if they made this R, I think it would have been significantly more enjoyable.
If this
Because
was
it would have been
rated
the
R,
real carnage versus this chopped up scene of him.
if this was rated R, I probably would have gone from a D plus C minus to a C. I'm just saying.
So
No amount of
I think
Negative
the,
Nancy's-
carnage would have
Negative
been
Nancy's-
worth the C.
Yeah.
Negative
Okay.
Nancy's are over. All right, so I enjoyed the Venom and the Eddie Brock dialogue. I thought that was a
But you
a
got it in
bright
the first
spot.
one, and
You got it in the first one. They continued it in the second one.
I
It
know you
built
like the raid party.
It built. Oh God, I want to vomit.
I love you too! Yeah! Diesel protector out!
And so it built off of the last one. You could see that their relationship grew a little bit. They started to hate each other because they were now living together
That
for a
was
longer
fun.
period
Like,
of
that
time.
stuff was fun.
That was fun. Seeing Carnage, that was fun. They could have developed him a little bit more.
I didn't care for the whole
The biting
backstory
situation,
thing,
like it's another
yeah.
symbiote, and now it's a biting situation. Like, anyways,
Yeah.
and so, and we know that they had to go a different route with Venom because of the right situation with Spider-Man.
That's tough.
And it's a
Yeah.
tough it's a tough sell to have to use some obscure comic book to bring in Venom, and now that they're all working together, now we got to somehow shuffle him back into Marvel's
I mean,
verse.
with the
so
as we go into the post-credit scene, because I'm gonna grade this as a movie. I'm gonna grade this as the post-credit scene separately, because people are coming down and saying like, "Oh, the post-credit scene is awesome." I'm sorry, Venom was not a good movie.
Mhm.
Post-credit scene could be good, but that movie cannot be.
Yep, that's fair.
So I'm worried about. I'm obviously I was excited. I was like, "What is going on?"
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who was the woman? The woman that he was supposed to marry. Like, what was that?
Shriek.
Shriek.
Is it Shriek?
Mm-hmm.
So how come she can scream and it affects him, but when Carnage screams like a raptor, he's fine.
I don't know.
It's
And,
pretty
and a raptor is the right, like, because that's immediately what I thought of. I was just like, what is this
I was
Jurassic
fine
Park?
with that, but
It's just
no.
Jurassic
Okay,
Park.
so yeah, I mean, mind blown with the connection of the MCU and Spider-Man, and I'm like, wait a minute, where? Okay, so watching the screen and seeing Tom Holland, Peter, his face without the mask on the news, I'm like, that hasn't happened yet. That has not happened yet. So is he watching this in the timeline of No Way Home is happening, so he's viewing it.
It's like he's
As
seeing
No
it
Way
at
Home
the
is-
same time that.
We would.
But again, and it's like I was trying to catch the dialogue. I need to go back and rewatch it.
He said he looks tasty.
Well, there is that, and he
Yeah.
did lick the screen, and that was
Yeah.
interesting.
We're not doing that.
No. Anyways, I need to go back and listen to the news dialogue that was
Oh,
being
yeah,
stated,
yeah.
and is that something where it might have been during
No Way Home.
No Way Home
Yeah.
or not? Or was it around the same time? Because again, it's the whole glitch. Is that because of what Doctor Strange and Tom are up to?
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that glitch piece was Doctor Strange
Yeah.
messing around with. But anyways, but it's a different Venom coming into this timeline
Yeah.
or this universe. It could be timeline or universe.
Yeah. And he's
Yes.
he's going to view Spider-Man as bad guy because that's what he's going to be told. And so down the line, they'll
But then what do we do
fight.
moving
And
forward?
then, well, I know that
Well-
in Lethal Protectors they team up. Like he's a bad guy, they want to fight, but then at some point they team up, which has happened even in comics not based on the Lethal Protectors, but
But the lead up is usually Carnage, and you've already used up Carnage. What were you doing? Anyways.
he's got to be still. I mean, he's probably still alive somehow. This
Mhm.
comic, so
Oh yeah,
I was
I
a little
mean-
disappointed when they killed him.
ate him.
I mean, he bit his head off, so I'm assuming he's straight dead. But he swallowed this.
The whole thing is like just wanted to beat friends.
It was confusing. It wasn't confusing. It was disappointing.
2 thumbs down.
I don't know what else to talk about
Yeah, we're
because
just-
That's all.
I just don't want to. I don't want to relive this movie.
I will not
anymore.
see it again.
No, I will definitely not see it again. Like Joey, I'm sorry, brother, but I can't go see this movie with you. I can't. I'm not spending any more money or wasting my time. My eyeballs are too gentle. Anyways,
Which is
Star
he's
Wars
watching
all over
this,
again.
and he probably already seen it.
and so, all right, so we're done talking about it. We really are. We are extremely disappointed in this movie. Would not recommend it for anything other than, if we would recommend it, would be to get to the post-credit scene, so that maybe you can get that connection
Just-
as to where
just
Venom came from. Now that
YouTube
he's in
it.
Just YouTube it.
You'll be better off. Is it the same quality and excitement? No.
No, I mean I was generally like, holy crap, like
Then
And
why did
what,
that go?
what happens where, okay, so Sony, for the majority of the Spider-Man movies, is playing a large part in this, alongside Marvel.
yes.
How, if you're going to bring Venom into the Marvel universe, how is it that Marvel's not more connected to allow Sony to do something this ridiculous? Like, did they not have some oversight at the very least? This just feels so, like the quality is so lackluster. Okay, let me take that back, because CGI was really good with Carnage.
that's true.
But like the quality of the content, so of what we're talking about, the story and how it
If
connects.
Feige's not involved, you're not gonna get it.
It was terrible. Like, but Marvel's stamp is still on this. It is. So we're bringing Venom into Marvel Universe world now. You should have had some more oversight, because you're ruining my favorite Spider-Man villain. My favorite. You jacked it up. I don't know what else to say.
So we're just gonna leave it on that.
I'm gonna leave it on that.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like what you're
Venom
seeing,
out.
Venom out. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, leave us a comment. Give us some pointers. How did you feel about this movie? Are we being a little rough? Just
If
let
you
us
liked
know.
it,
You know,
I'm probably gonna roast you in the comments.
we're not gonna roast you. We won't roast you. I promise. Just let us know how you feel. We may be a little salty about it. Subscribe as always. Y'all take care of each other. Have a wonderful day and peace.
Let there be carnage.